second class. In our very first work, Help, which we're going to examine now, I would like to look at some moments here. Why don't you first tell us what Help is?
Help, of course. I had no idea that the Beatles had named an album that. Help is in a collection of sixth grade stories that were published by my sixth grade teacher, my sixth grade English teacher, Mrs. McBee. She made us all write these. They're mimeographed. It's hard for you to see. Yeah, you can still smell it after all these years. And Help is the scintillating story.
It is?
It is. I could see how scintillated you were.
First of all, it's Help with an exclamation point.
That I think that punctuation makes everything.
It makes a Broadway musical, or it makes this
War and Peace. The Brothers Karamazov.
It's the punctuation equivalent of jazz hands, right?
Oh, it's all about. It's a very exciting story about kidnappers and bank robbers, and food.
And food.
And food. A lot of food.
In fact, why don't you, if you look at page 7...
Should I read?
Could you read paragraph 2 for us?
I'd be happy to do that for you. I would. Okay, so let me just tell you that Julie has been kidnapped by bank robbers, possible killers, right? They're violent people. I come from people who are heavily influenced by the Donner Party. Like, we don't even walk to the corner store without, like, some, cheese crackers in our pockets. Julie saw the door open and a woman with some food stepped in. She untied Julie. Here, have something to eat. It's like she's your booby, you know?
Right. Well, what do you think the younger Libba Bray was going for when, instead of actually saying fried chicken or a pie, just a woman walked in with food? Like, the abstraction here, what do you think is going on?
There's an abstraction? Did you not just hear me say that I come from people who are obsessed with food?
Understood.
I mean, it's really, we were just, are you talking about how was I being fed emotionally as a young sixth grader?
You can go there.
By the written word, Eliot. I was really that literal. There's just food on every page.
A girl needs to eat. A girl needs to be untied by the bank robbers, and then a girl needs to eat.
And a girl needs to eat.
So far, these are our priorities.
These are bank robbers with heart, okay? I'm showing that she's a good person. She looks like Tina Louise from Gilligan's Island. She really does.
So
She's stylish.
Now we're going to rewind a moment to near the beginning of Help.
This is such a thing of beauty. Once again, the phone rang out. Hello? Oh, hi, Dad. Yes, I've eaten breakfast. Bank robbers? Wow, 2 got away? Oh well, at least you've got 1. Okay, bye. As Julie hung up the phone, she decided to watch TV. As you do after a conversation like that.
So now, I was asking you earlier, I think we could see the older Libba Bray constructing that exact moment as comedy. But you really...
I was 100% serious. I was so serious that it's embarrassing.
So Julie does wind up abducted. And,
she does.
And then by the end, it's been fairly horrific. She has to take one of her abductors down with a heavy food tray and escape. And actually, a food tray does reappear
in Beauty Queens.
In Beauty Queens. Do you want to tell us the evolution of the food tray as part of your go-to?
As about the food tray, always I think of it as being sort of a commentary on sort of bourgeois society.
Oh, of course.
The food tray. Girl likes to eat, and
well, what happens in Beauty Queens? How does the food tray?
In Beauty Queens, what happens is that Miss New Mexico, I believe it's Miss New Mexico, ends up with the airline food tray stuck in her head.
Like a visor.
Yeah, and they can't remove it. And so she is understandably a little upset about this. And everyone tries to make her feel better by saying, that it's like great accessorizing. Nobody else in the pageant has a food tray stuck in her head, so she's really going to stand out. That it's like the new bangs. Yeah, exactly. She'll always remain youthful,
So food tray as weapon is a
Food tray
motif.
as weapon.
Future college students writing theses, studying Libba Bray. Future as weapon has not yet been taken as the topic of anyone's paper. So she takes someone down with a food tray, doesn't kill any of her captors. There's no slaying in this story.
Sadly, no.
But let's take a look at the last paragraph. There are some lingering effects to,
Shall we?
To her redaction. Yes.
Julie went home and was reunited with her family. Julie soon forgot the ordeal, but it wouldn't erase the nightmare when she almost didn't live to see tomorrow, the end. And as you can see, they're seated around the table, preparing to eat.
But there's no food. This is representing the trauma. This is the objective correlative of going through this like terrible, terrible event.
The sham of our family.
No food. With smiles. Pippa Longstocking might have been in attendance at this dinner. No, but what I actually find amazing about this is that she forgot the entire ordeal. But it wouldn't
watch
erase,
TV.
But forgetting the ordeal wouldn't erase the nightmare when she almost didn't live to see tomorrow. Do you want to unpack that for us a little?
I wish I could. Ah.
I could strain. I think it's actually it's sort of, you know, I think when, especially with your more figurative later work.
Pray, do go on.
With your more figurative later work, you do actually find that reality can be subverted, but the emotional content is always true. So you have a scene that's not playing out like it's in the everyday world, but the impact on the characters, that was the best way to express it. I'm thinking of...
You could work in Washington. That was like such
Also,
a beautiful spin job.
Running for president. No, I'm thinking of the opening for Going Bovine, the sort of the meditative dream sequence on the ride in Disney World, where the actual everyday nature of events is erased in favor of the sort of emotional dream sequence aspect.
I would say that certainly the idea of reality versus fantasy, the whole kind of the dream sequence, the sort of, this is going to sound so pretentious, and I'm so sorry, I don't mean it to, but that sort of Fellini-esque landscape is the Fellini-esque landscape.
I'm definitely going to subtitle. Also a title for a college thesis.
I just want a statue of Jesus to come. Let's just dangle it over the book like it's flying in.
I like that you started like, I don't want to push too far with this one. And then Fellini, bam! No, I do believe you.
Oh my God.
But I think the nightmare.
That was the stupidest thing I've ever said, possibly.
But I think you could actually legitimately write something about your work saying it's about the nightmare, not the ordeal. Like as a jumping off point.
I can't wait for you to do that. Let me know. I'll be around all day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want to know when the dog gets its own story, because clearly it's got secrets to tell.
With those eyebrows? He's like sort of the arch-gay narrator of the whole event. Like, I've been following, and I'm rising above because I'm invulnerable. The way the female abductor was undone was delivering food on a tray as weapon, just gonna point it out. Delivering food on a tray, and then Julie says, "My foot hurts. Could you take a look at my foot?"
Because, you know, when you're kidnapped, you automatically assume that you've been kidnapped by thieving podiatrists.
Right. Or they've been hypnotized to take any suggestion by the prisoner. So the abductor leans down to examine the foot.
Like you do. Sure.
And receives, wonk, a tray on the head. It's kind of brilliant.
Oh.